everyone. It is Monday, and that means it's time to record another draft video, to post one anyway. I post one every Monday and Thursday on a minimum. Right now, I'm basically just doing the minimum. We're doing some Rivals of Ixalan. This will be the last week of Rivals of Ixalan draft. Then we're going to take a little break and do some Masters 25 drafts. And during that time, I should actually have some more free time, and I'll probably actually post 3 of those a week at least. I'm hoping. The format looks fun, so I'm hoping I can do that. Lots of crazy stuff you can do. So I'll see you guys when this Rivals of Ixalan draft fires. Okay. Well, this pack isn't the greatest. Admiral's Order is pretty mediocre. Forerunner of the Heralds is nice, but Merfolk in general are really down in this set. They're not as good as they used to be. Same goes for Silver Gill Adept. I like Cacophodon as a defensive card. Sailor of Means is a nice card in this format. Sets you up to do all sorts of silly things, and it's got good stats. I like Deadeye Righauler, but all of that said, I think we just take Impale, the big removal spell. There's lots of bombs in this format, and as a result, removal that costs 4 is better than it is, or than it would have been, for example, in Triple Ixalan, because creatures are all so, not all, but there are lots of big creatures, and having a destroy target creature effect like this second Impale we're going to take is pretty great. Squire's Devotion's worth looking at too, but I think we just take Impale number 2 here. Back-to-back Impales. Direfleet Neckbreaker is worth looking at, but it's nothing special on it. I mean, it is, if you can curve out with that deck, it can be pretty explosive, but if you can't, a lot of other decks can go over you. I may just take Fathom Fleet Border. Mutiny's okay, but I think staying just in black is fine when the cards we're seeing in black are still good, and we're cutting it so people to our left know not to be trying to draft black, because we're doing it, although we're not seeing a whole lot of it anymore either, because someone to our right may be doing the same thing. So Martyr of Dusk is pretty good. I don't want to take Recover here. I do like playing one of them in most decks, especially in decks that have good creatures with good enter the battlefield abilities or death triggers. But yeah, I think I take Martyr here. Okay, well that's a relatively late Sailor of Means, but there's also a Moment of Craving. So I think I just keep slamming these black cards that are really good. Instead of like reaching out to Sailor of Means and trying to make a, the Sailor of Means deck work, which is a good deck. Okay, that's a late Snubhorn Sentry, but as before, there's also a Dinosaur Hunter. I think I just take it. Just keep cutting black, taking playable black cards. We have one white card, but obviously our second color is by no means determined. We have a good removal spell for early creatures and 2 good ones for, the bombs that are running around. And we have 2 pirates, so... But as you probably know by now, while tribal things can work out in this format, and when they do, it's awesome, they work out less frequently, and decks in this format are usually like this. If this were black-white vampires, it'll probably have like 2 or 3 vampire synergies, and instead of like in Triple Ixalan where decks were just like all synergistic. It can happen where they are synergistic. You've probably seen me draft some decks like that, but it's less likely in this format, which I think is a good thing. It feels a lot less like Triple Ixalan. Thank God, because this format's actually a good one. Triple Ixalan wasn't terrible. I mean, I'm addicted enough to drafting. I'll do Triple Ixalan, but it's not great either. So I like Legion Conquistador. It's a nice grindy card for the you can search up a bunch of Conquistadors, and they trade for a lot of things in the format. Trailblazer's good too. Sanguine Glorifier is good too, but if we're not going to end up in a heavy vampire deck, it's not going to be so good. I think I'd rather pick up my first Conquistador here. Well, there's basically nothing good in this pack. This is a good sideboard card. The best card in the pack is Tealanali's Crown, but that looks like it's unlikely to be that good for our deck. So I think I'll take the sideboard card. Okay, well, Exultant Skymarcher came all the way back. It's a nice card. So did Cacophodon. But given we already have a few white cards, I think I'd rather just take a nice evasive creature. I think maybe now we take a Recover over a Sun Sentinel. I'm more likely to play one Recover than I am Sun Sentinel, I hope. Moment of Triumph is a solid trick if we're in the market for tricks. Oh, there's another Recover. I guess I'll take another Dark Inquiry. These are good sideboard cards for the same reason Impale's so good in this format. It's lots of bombs, and if you find out your opponent has one of them, being able to get rid of them is pretty great. So we could take the Freebooter. It's no Sailor of Means, but it kind of serves the same purpose. So if we ended up in, let's say, black-red, maybe it'll help us splash something. We are getting a little vampiric, but we'll see how vampiric we remain. Wow. Okay, well, I definitely will take a last pick Sanguine Glorifier in my deck that already has 3 vampires in it. Ooh. I can't say no to Path of Discovery, you guys. It's like my favorite card in the set. I enjoy it every time I play it. This pack, in terms of black and white, is basically asking me to take it. Like, the best cards in this pack are Path of Discovery and Needletooth Raptor. Legion Conquistador number 2, maybe it's in there. But we're taking Path of Discovery. I just always take it. You know, I'll go into green. Ooh, wow. Trapjaw Tyrant, huh? I haven't actually gotten to play with that card. Well, maybe I won't go into green, huh? We didn't give up much in that pack other than Conquistador number 2. We're definitely taking Trapjaw Tyrant here. You can't really say no to him. Evolving Wild, you know, I will splash Path of Discovery. It's good as a splash, I mean, but we'll see. Okay, so the vampires keep coming. Forerunner of the Legion is nice. Evolving Wilds could help us splash our path, but I'm going to be responsible and take Forerunner of the Legion, which will work well with the number of vampires we seem to be picking up. So Path of Discovery is going to go over here for now, but if I can, I just love it. It's just so good. If I can play it, I will. Okay, do I want Snubhorn Sentry or Vampire Revenant more? I mean, Pitiless Plunderer sort of helps you splash, but he's such an inconsistent source of splashing that I don't love him. He's not terrible. But I think Snubhorn Sentry's good. I wouldn't mind picking up some Pterodons too for some more late game punch. Maybe I should take the Plunderer though if I'm really considering splashing Path. I think I should. Yeah. Don't love the card, but yep, well, there's a Pterodon, so we're going to take that over like Fathom Fleetboarder or Snubhorn Sentry or Majestic Heliopterus. We've only got a couple dinosaurs right now, but we'll get more, surely. With all the Snubhorn Sentries going around, I'm sure we'll pick up 1 or 2 here in this pack. So there's a Legion Conquistador. There's another Plunderer, but like I said, it's not like it's the greatest at splashing. So I do think we take the Legion Conquistador number 2 here. That kicks us up to 5, 6 vampires. Yeah. We have a nice smattering of creature types, and we do right now. If we sort of continue on this rate of this number of vampires, percentage of vampires, dinosaurs, and pirates, Grim Captain's Call would be pretty good in this deck. So Waternaut's like really good. It's kind of weird to see around this late, but it's not possible for us to splash it. So I think I'll just take Expel. I don't like Canal Monitor. Sailor of Means, there you are. So Traveler's Amulet's here. And it could help us splash, but again, I think we'll be responsible and take Legion Conquistador. Yeah, and there's a 4th one, so I'm glad I did it. We'll take a Vampire Revenant here, though. It's not super likely to make the cut, vampire or not. I think Arterial Flow might be main boardable in this deck if we have like 10-ish vampires. Take Sun Sentinel, probably gets cut. It's not a very good 2-drop. Sure, I take the rare. So I'm probably not splashing Path of Discovery. We passed lots of opportunities to do it because I decided to be responsible. So Recover works pretty well with our Forerunner and our Trapjaw Tyrant because it's sort of a bomb. Yeah, we're up to 8 pirates, so I think arterial flow will probably be main boardable. We didn't end up getting any snubhorn sentries, so we're going to be on the lookout for some more dinos. Although I'll play Suncrested Pterodon with just one other dinosaur, certainly. So here we have Legion Conquistador number 5, which is definitely playable. Bishop Soldier. I think I like Legion Conquistador number 5 over Bishop Soldier number 1. I don't like Queen's Agent very much. So Conquistador number 5 it is. Don't want Tocatli Honor Guard. It turns off our Conquistadors, among other things. I guess turning off our Fathom Fleet Border is not too bad. Well, some nice merfolk payoffs here. I'm not sure why things aren't properly loading, but pack's not very good for us. Lifelink vampire tokens, I guess, is what we take. Don't know that it's going to make the cut. Legion's Judgment's okay, and maybe we take it. I mean, we'll probably cite it in once if we do. Yeah, let's take it. Yeah, suddenly none of the art is loading, which is really fun for you guys. In this case, the art oh, there we go. Some different art loaded. We probably take the Sky Marcher. We don't have enough vampire or pirates for March of the Drowned. Goring Ceratops is a dinosaur, but I don't think it's the one we want. I think we take the Sky Marcher. We have enough vampires, and it's a nice early threat. Contract killing. Yeah, okay. I'll take it. Theoretically, it helps us splash, right? Probably Glorifier of Dusk. It gives us another nice late game threat on top of like Suncrested Pterodon and Trapjaw Tyrant. So hopefully I get to cut Sun Sentinel. Probably run the border. Although we have a ton of 3s, so maybe we don't need him. I mean, he's still a 3-mana 3/3, which is bigger than all of my other guys. Blood Crazed Paladin, Bishop Soldier, Ruthless Knave. The Paladin just has the potential to be so large, but it often is just like a 2-mana 3/3. And the fact that it has flash almost never matters in terms of like flashing it in to kill a creature. You just can't do it usually. So Soldier or Paladin? I think I still take the Paladin. I think it has enough upside over the Soldier. Ooh, that's a really late walk the plank. I mean, this is a nice flying threat for us to have, but walk the plank's premium removal and having it is good. Yeah, we could take Raptor Companion so we can have Vigilance a little more often with our Pterodon, but who needs it, you know? Don't know that I'll play Recover in this in the end. We have lots of really good removal. And that's nice. Yeah, I mean, Forerunner of the Legion, searching for our first Legion Conquistador and just chaining them together is pretty hilarious if we can manage to do that. Direfleet Hoarder, I guess. Don't think it makes the cut. We're not splashing, even though I kind of want to splash Path of Discovery. So should we take the Honor Guard and think about sideboarding it, or should we take Queen's Agent and think about sideboarding it? Because the Honor Guard turns off like Glorifier, Forerunner, all of our Conquistadors, our Blood Crazy. No, we don't want it. I'll take a Queen's Agent, but I don't think it's going to make the cut. I don't know for sure if we want Moment of Triumph, though. Maybe we do just want like a Direfleet Hoarder instead. Heartless Pillage. It's like a much worse arterial flow. But sometimes you want 2 arterial flows against some opponents. So there's a Vampire Zeal, which I think is a better trick anyway than Moment of Triumph. In our deck, anyway. We have enough vampires. Elaborate Fire Cannon. Queen's Bay Soldier, but yeah, we don't need it. Alright, I think our deck looks fine. It's just sort of... It's a grindier vampire deck as opposed to a more aggressive one, which I think is better for this format. Having a bunch of good late removal and the Legion Conquistadors usually goes pretty well. We got a little bit of vampire synergy, but not a ton. Just great removal, and we have one card at least that's, I would say, is a bomb in Trapjaw Tyrant. We don't have any way to abuse, make it take damage or anything, do we? No, but basically he's unblockable and or impossible to attack through, and that's what we're looking for, right? So yeah, I think this is our deck. We have a lot of double black and a fair amount of double white. I guess we have this about the same amount of each. Yeah, that probably makes sense. We'll go with that. And this looks to be our deck. I'll see you guys in our first match. All right, we're going into our first match. We have a pretty good hand. We will keep it. We have turn 2 Hunter, turn 3 Conquistador, which... How many cards will we have in our hand? They have a Skymarcher Aspirant. It's usually, like, you don't ever want to draw your other Conquistadors since this one can just search them up for you, but usually you don't want to have to discard cards either. Depends on how many lands we have in our hand, though, honestly. I may search up one extra one just because we don't really need all the land. So opponent might also be vampiric. Yeah, they are. Okay. So we'll play Dinosaur Hunter here. So we'll have 5 cards in our hand, and we can probably get 3 of them and then pitch a Plains in our instep. It's not too bad. Question is whether I want to trade for the Aspirant. I might. Ooh, that's not good. That card just, like, wins games if you let the opponent get to the point where they can use it. Okay. Yeah. So, should I just attack? And possibly trade for Skymarcher Aspirant, or... Yeah, I think that seems fine. When they have Profane Procession in play, we have to find a way to put pressure on them somehow. Alright, getting in for 2 works for me, especially because it didn't attack us at all. And we're going to play a creature now. So how many Conquistadors do we search for here? We could just get 2, or we could get 3 and pitch a Plains. I feel like just getting 2 is probably okay. Yeah, let's just get 2. And we'll end our turn. I don't remember if we have like erase and stuff like that in our sideboard, because we'll definitely bring it in. This will just start eating our creatures soon, but good news is we have lots of them, and none of them are like that good. So our opponent stealing them and spending a bunch of mana to bring them back isn't going to be like a great deal for them, you know, if it's just a bunch of Legion Conquistadors. Unless they have their own Legion Conquistadors in their deck, it puts them into play. Yeah, so they would get the end of the battlefield trigger. That would be bad, and they might. I mean, they're a black-white deck. It's entirely possible they have Conquistadors. Yeah, I definitely think we sort of just try to play around Profane Procession. Like, if we drew our Trapjaw Tyrant, we wouldn't play it right now. Okay, Sanguine Glorifier, sure. Dusk Legion Zealot, huh? We have lots of removal. We don't have our double black yet, so... It's a little annoying. Still no attacks. Interesting. Okay. There's a Vampire Revenant. It does have flying and stuff. Could play our own Glorifier. See, if they get Glorifier, that's pretty good for them because obviously they would get that trigger. Yeah, I think we just play another Conquistador here and search up a Conquistador. And end our turn. At some point, we'll have to play something threatening, you know, but we're not there yet. Oh, we have a Radiant Destiny in our sideboard. Or not Radiant Destiny, I wish. It would be in our deck if we had one. The Kill a Vampire thing. Kill a Vampire or Enchantment card, which will be very good against our opponent. Alright, so now they can just do this whenever they want. So setting up blocks is really obnoxious. They're being oddly unaggressive, I guess, because they know they have Profane Procession, like, ready to do whatever it wants. Like, I don't understand why they didn't attack with their Zealot, for example, when the best I could... Or this. I mean, the best I can do is trade. This is about to have flying, so maybe that makes a little more sense. But yeah, playing against Profane Procession is a nightmare. It just seemed like it was going to be so clunky. It's one of the cards that made it into my Cards Are Underrated video, because you had to pay 8 mana to exile the first creature, like total, and you have to invest a lot of mana, and that wouldn't have done so well in triple Ixalan, but here it works. You can actually build defensive decks here, although our opponent hasn't actually had a defensive start, interestingly. But it's been defensive enough. What I mean is they're not playing like Snubhorn Sentries or Gleaming Barriers or something. Alright, are you going to eat a creature? No. Deacon time. Okay. You have the City's Blessing now, so you're going to give that flying. Yeah, this isn't good. Our opponent's deck is gross. Lots of vampires and lots of... And a really powerful card in there as well. So we'll take 4 here. Not much we can do about it. They are tapped out, so that's something to keep in mind. At least a little bit. Would be nice if we could get double black. So we're going to play our Glorifier now. It's probably going to get eaten by Profane Procession, but I'm going to make my Legion Conquistador a 3/3. Also got Vampire Zeal. If things get crazy here. Since I have Vampire Zeal, maybe I attack with him too. Although using it to kill the Glorifier doesn't feel great. Using it to kill the Deacon does, but, you know, let's just do it. I could play the Revenant, which can block this, but... Okay, so... Do we just let this trade happen? Do we let both of these trades happen? I think we keep our bigger one and let that trade happen. We have to use that trick at some point when our opponent doesn't have 5 mana available, so using it there doesn't seem too bad. Still no creatures under this, so they've got to exile 3 before it flips and starts doing stupid things. And if we can get double black, we can get rid of the Deacon, which will make this much less of a threat. So, see if we can do that. We still have 1 Conquistador in our deck, too. So, being able, like, if we drew a Swamp, I'd be pretty happy, because we would walk the plank the Deacon and play Legion Conquistador to get the last one out of our deck. And we go to 10. Yeah, we need to bring in, even if we have a race, I think even if this is the only target for it, it's such a powerful card that I think you bring it in this case. Normally I don't bring in a card if there's only one target for it, you know, but in this case, I think we want to do it. Come on, swamp. I'm probably going to draw my other conquistadors. Probably what's going to happen. No, we did it. How about that? Okay. So, let's walk the plank here. They can actually exile their own creature with this, by the way. I mean, I don't know why you would, but you can. If you really desperately want to save a creature. And then we're going to attack with everything. They're going to exile something, but they're going to take 5 in the process. And then we'll play another Conquistador and get our last Conquistador. Yeah, they'll take away our Glorifier, which makes sense. It's got a good trigger for them when it comes into play. But we do drop them to 12. And then we play Conquistador. The Conquistadors are the reason we have so much gas in our hands right now. Because we still have 1 to get. There it is. End our turn. I mean, if Legion Conquistador is a pretty good card against Profane Procession if your opponent doesn't have, ways to stop you in play. Because this is when this gets too clunky, where, I can just keep playing a creature or 2 a turn. And if they're not also playing a creature, which it's hard to do because they want to leave 5 mana up, they get into trouble. So Legion Conquistador is pretty great in this matchup. See what they're doing right now, though. I haven't actually gotten to draft this card. Oh, that's not true. I drafted it once and I didn't record and splashed it. But I don't think I ever drew it. It's crazy how that can happen even when you've drafted a set like 30 times. But it can. Nothing. Okay, so that works for us, right? Okay, well, we don't really want to play Glorifier of Dusk until after Profane Procession has left us alone. I think we just attack here. And then probably play both Conquistadors. They can block and trade with one, and then exile the other. But that's okay. See if they have something else. Yeah, they're going to block there. Probably exile the 3-power one and go to 10. Yep. And now I think we go Conquistador. I think we have a real shot here, especially if our opponent keeps drawing blanks. We don't need to use its ability anymore. And then we go Conquistador. Because Glorify of Dusk or Vampire Revenant can help us finish them off through whatever creatures they steal from us. Plus we have Impale, so all of that's good. So they have no board now. If they want to keep mana up to do this, the best they can do is play a 2-drop. So yeah, it looks like they're going to do something. They may actually exile something and then flip this. It does give them a mana once it flips. They won't be able to use its ability, but they can play a 3-drop after they exile one of our guys. Transform this, technically. We all use the term flip, which is actually a Kamigawa block mechanic, but flip makes sense. You flip the card over, you know? Can we beat Profane Procession? Thanks to our 5 Legion Conquistadors. Maybe. Card does get clunky. I mean, they only get to exile one more creature too, so that's why I'm sort of avoiding playing either evasive creature. Because if we can get them low enough, the evasive creatures can finish things off for us. And there's a real chance here we drop them to 6, which would be pretty good. And if they exile a creature when we attack, we can then play like Glorifier of Dusk in our second main phase, impale something on our turn, and then just probably win, but we'll have to see. They will get to exile something on my turn, and then this will transform, and then on their turn they can pay 4 to steal any of them, but like not steal any of them, but put them into play. And they have 7 mana, so they'd be paying 4 for a Glorifier, which is what you pay for it anyway, or for a Conquistador, which unless they have their own Conquistadors, I'm not worried about. If they have their own, then we're in trouble. But yeah, they are deep in thought here. I think they're trying to decide whether they should just play a creature from their hand or rely on Profane Procession. And Impale is going to help us out here, hopefully. If we just go Impale, swing... Okay, they hit Dinosaur Hunter, huh? It's a little surprising. So now they have 3 mana to do something. Yeah, so that is what they decided to do in the end. Okay, that's obnoxious. Do we bother with Impale? I'm not sure. I mean, Impale's definitely the only way we have to kill that thing. If we go Impale, swing, drop you to 6. How good is that? Impale... Drop you to 6, then on your turn you pay 4, steal one of these things. Then these guys are basically not going to be able to attack again. So maybe we just play one of our evasive guys now. We could still attack here and drop them to 8. But I think I'm just going to play Glorifier of Dusk here and end my turn. Yeah. Might Impale on this turn if they... Depending on what they do. So yeah, they have to tap 5 of their lands, basically, or including this, to put one of these creatures in play. They can do it at instant speed, it's worth noting, because why not? Wait, I'm confused. You're transformed. Oh, it's just showing... Oh, no, you have another one! Are you serious? What? You have 2 Profane Processions. We were going to beat 1, I think. I don't know if we can beat 2. Oh, my God. Oh, no. 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 Oh, God. And they can play any of these at instant speed, or they can exile. We are so screwed. Well, now we definitely bring in anything that blows up an enchantment. So we're going to go to combat here. Attack with everything. I'm going to pay 2 life to give this flying. I'm sure they're going to exile it, but that's okay. God. That's some... I was like, why is it showing me the activated ability of Profane Procession side? It shouldn't be doing that. Lo and behold, they were just playing another one. Great, yeah, okay. So they're going to go to 8 here. I guess I play the Revenant. I mean, it's not going to accomplish much. Double Profane Procession. Could have beaten 1. Thanks to our Conquistadors, but not 2. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. They can almost use both of them in the same turn. Do we still have some chance? I don't really think we do. We don't have like Ixalan's binding or anything. Pterodon, okay, yeah, that's annoying. Win. The good news, though, is they've only got 4 mana. So I'm going to take 2. So I can impale the Pterodon and get in for 3. I can get in for 5, actually. That's going to make things a little more interesting than our opponent probably wanted them to be. So impale. Attack with everything. They might have something in their hand, but they can't use either Profane Processions right now. So we just get in for 5. Could be they have Divine Verdict or something, and that that's why they were confident to just slam the Pterodon. Dropping them to 3 makes things interesting. We do have 1 Arterial Flow. Unfortunately, they're not at 2, but we do have 1 Arterial Flow. We'll end our turn. Hold on to this card. We do have more removal, too, in our deck. That would be quite helpful. So, God, I hope I have a race in my sideboard. I know I have the vampire killing, enchantment killing thing. We also have like Spreading Rot, which I guess, but I'd rather just... This one takes so long to flip that bringing in the enchantment hate is probably a lot better than bringing in land hate. Okay. So they have to leave 5 mana up here or they die to our Vampire Revenant. Yeah, so that's good news. Unless they play a land. They would have by now, though, right? Because if they play a land, they could actually activate both. And then they don't have to worry about anything. Decent chance they have like Luminous Bonds and stuff like that too. God, Profane Procession. Okay, so they left 5 mana up so they can survive the attack from the Revenant. Random Vampire with flying. Seems pretty solid. Okay, so we're going to attack with the Revenant. It's going to get exiled, I would think. Yeah, here it goes. Yep. Then we're going to play Duskborn Sky Marcher. And end our turn. So, well, they're going to gain some life, actually, most likely. I was going to say, so if we draw Arterial Flow, but they can still just leave 5 mana up and not die to the 1 damage from Duskborn Sky Marcher. So, yeah. 2 Profane Processions. It's an embarrassment of riches over here. Yeah, I underrated it and Hadana's Climb. If you saw my video on what I underrated, I gave both of them a C+, which is laughable now. I thought they were both just a little too clunky. And Profane Procession still is kind of clunky, but the format is slow enough that it's good. Hadana's Climb isn't clunky at all, so I don't really know what I was thinking. I was worried about like the all-in strategy it suggests that you do, but between hexproof tokens and Jade Guardian and the fact that your opponent just doesn't always have removal, it's pretty powerful. If you've watched all of my drafts, you know I've drafted it like 4 times, and it's always been very good. Man, the opponent is tanking hardcore. I just noticed they only have 10 minutes left, so this has been a long match already, and we're in game 1. So I kind of feel like they should just attack with everything, given what they have going on over there. I have to do some ugly blocks. If they do. If they only attack with that, I just take it. Yeah, I'm just going to take it. All right. You just pass your turn with all the mana in the world up. Ooh. Oh, they have Mavrin Fane in their hand. Gross. Their deck is ridiculous. My God. There's Trapjaw Tyrant. All right. Okay. Let's go to combat. Let's attack. Doesn't really matter. I mean. Oh, yeah, that was really dumb. Go me. I mean, we've lost at this point anyway, but that was really dumb. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and scoop. Not showing them we have Trapjaw Tyrant. Okay, so... Oh, no, we don't have that card in our sideboard. That was a different deck I drafted. No! Could bring in Dark Inquiry. Problem is, it's a 3-drop, so they can play it earlier than we can. God, I don't have any way to destroy enchantments. It's not good. Could bounce it at least, but... And that would be good, but we'd have to... I don't know how we would splash that. Yeah, we're in trouble. Our opponent's deck's ridiculous. I mean, we could cut Arterial Flow for 1 Dark Inquiry. I think that seems okay because, yeah, we know that they have, you know, I'd be happy to hit Mavrin Fane or, yeah, one of those. We're on the play, so Dark Inquiring on turn 3 and hitting one of their stupid card is entirely possible. So maybe we just bring in 2 when we're on the play and cut like... Cut like what? I don't think so. Okay, I think this hand's pretty good. We do need to draw a 3rd land at some point, but we will. You know, hopefully not on turn 5. Hopefully before that. We drew a 2nd Conquistador. Okay. Land, please. That is not what you want to draw when you've already got 2 Conquistadors in your hand. And you need a 3rd land desperately. Is Moment of Craving worth it? Yeah, I think it is. We'll attack. Here comes Profane Procession, because our opponent has 2. Makes me want to die. No, just that. Land? Well, not a land, but at least it gives me something to cast. In the turn... Yeah, we would just fetch our last 2 Conquistadors if we get the chance to play our Conquistador. Gross. We have one of those. At least they can't put that 1 card on top, Profane Procession. Yeah, it's only attacking vampires that can pump, not also blocking ones. So, like, if we can go to game 3, there's, like, no way our opponent has enough time. But we're not in good position to do that. I mean, even if this game goes long, our opponent's going to be in trouble. They're taking a very long time right now, for example. There are a lot of choices. Maverin Fane, that makes sense. So gross. That will end the game quickly. Oh, you. God. Ugh. Maverin Fane coming into play right now is going to make me want to cry. So he can pump his Forerunner to make it a 3/3, attack with it, get a vampire token. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm so glad I used Moment of Craving when I did. Actually, he can pump the Everdon Champion, but it makes more sense to pump this. Yeah, because you get the vampire token. Not good. And you can pump it to a 4/4 now. What a combo. We take it. Please give me a land. Please. Well, that's just great. We're going to leave our Sky Marcher back now. It's like, should we just scoop now? I mean, Maverin Fane's in play, and Forerunner of the Legion's in play. So, I don't know. It's worth considering. We've gone Conquistador, Contract Killing, Vampire Revenant, Impale right on our draws. Good stuff. We'll take 3. We could double block it, but it hardly seems worth it. I don't know why they're not attacking with their champion. It's not like I can do anything about it either. Well, maybe we'll time them out anyway. No, I don't think we will. It seems highly unlikely. You could have pumped your guy more. Like, finally getting to 3 here and playing Conquistador is kind of laughable. You know, it's like, wow. 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 I mean, I think our deck's pretty good. I mean, we almost managed to beat double Profane Procession in game 1 when things went, like, normally. Yeah. Now they're being more aggressive, as they should be. Maybe I do just double block this stupid thing. Let's go for it. And then we take 5. We do get to keep a vampire token, so yeah, let's just double block him. Gonna have him down to 5 minutes. Oh, Divine Verdict is ugly there. Yeah, we're so dead. It's not gonna matter how much time they have left. Probably still not gonna draw land, and even if we do, it's too late. Hey, we drew a land. I mean, what the hell, you know? Grab a Conquistador. Oop, yeah. Feel like they should just attack with everything, but maybe you leave back Maverin Fane, but don't even really need to do that. I'm tapped out. You can make Maverin Fane a 4/4 with the creature you put into play with Maverin Fane. There's Profane Procession. I could have Dark Inquiried it probably, but, you know, didn't really have the time to do that. Okay. I'm going to get a Vampire token. We're getting close to Impale, but it's going to be too slow. Like, with the board state they have, playing Impale is just going to hurt. But, yeah. So, just throw that in front of that, and we'll block one of these tokens. We go to 6. Land number 4. Can't do much with that. We're dead. That second game, the first game was pretty entertaining. That second game was not a pretty one. All right, well, we're 0-1, but the deck does seem good. Again, almost beat double Profane Procession. That's always a good sign. So I'll see you guys in the next match. All right, well, we're in match 2, and I don't like how things have started. So we're going to go ahead and mulligan. Really? I think we go to 6. I mean 5. We're already at 6. All right, well, okay. Sure. This might just be one of those drafts, you know? They do happen. God, if they're playing the 1/1 who can sack itself to kill a creature, okay, not quite. I mean, Daring Buccaneer is still a problem, but that would look so bad if they played their card names are so much harder for me to remember now. I'm getting old. The Firebrand, not Firebrand. Fanatical Firebrand? I think that is right. It's like Mog Fanatic reference. Okay, so we're going to take the 2 to the face here. Good news is that's all they did. I'm going to play a Swamp. That way we make sure we have Walk the Plank up next turn. And we drew a Conquistador, which can really help us get back in this game after having to mulligan the way we had to. So that's going to be good. Going to go to 16 here. But, you know, Conquistador coming into play, drawing me 4 cards, and being able to trade with Daring Buccaneer is... it's pretty great. My opponent might be stuck on 2. No! Firebrand. Thank God I drew this Conquistador. Otherwise, I would really be like, great. I think we still play the Conquistador over the Sky Marcher here. Yeah. We'll play this Swamp just in case I screw something up later. But we go Conquistador, and we can get all 4 of them. And we will. Load up. See, that's why you mulligan. That's why I wanted to mulligan so much. So that I could search for all 4. Boom. Now who has more cards in their hand? Hey, did I not click on one? I guess not. That's okay. So if they play some scary aura on it, we're going to have to walk the Planket most likely. Like Sea Red would be a problem. It's because we could never double block it. I definitely go for the block here. I mean, if I trade for a trick in their hand or something, I am perfectly fine with that. I would rather trade for the creature on the board in a lot of ways, but trading for a trick is still pretty good when the card just drew you 3 cards, and it should have been 4, but... Right, so 3/3, no, that Frenzied Raptor is so bad against Legion Conquistador, and we drew a big scary Trapjaw Tyrant, so Conquistador, yeah. And yeah, now we get the last one, which we meant to get last time. Trade with every X2, including the Frenzied Raptor. These are all from Rivals, interestingly. I didn't get any of them from the Ixalan pack. Haha, yeah. No attack works for me. Okay, so I'm going to play Exultant Sky Marcher here, and in my turn. That way we can start going on the offensive. Direfleet Daredevil. Luckily, we don't have anything for them to steal, but that thing does attack pretty well through Conquistadors. Not through Sky Marcher, though. Ooh. Interesting. I think we attack and play Forerunner here. I don't know what I'm going to put on top, but a Vampire. I know that. All right, drop them to 17. Play Forerunner. So, Sanguine Glorifier might just be the best thing. If I already had 5 mana, I'd probably go for, our big scary guy, but Sanguine Glorifier is pretty good. And we'll end our turn. Yeah, we did already get a bunch of vampires out of our deck, so we didn't have that many choices left. So we're going to play the Tyrant at some point. Against an opponent who could be running Impale or Walk the Plank, I'm probably going to try to wait on playing it if I can. Okay, so I think we play the Glorifier here. I put the counter on Exultant Sky Marcher, and I'm going to put the pump on Exultant Sky Marcher too. Yeah. Attack for 4. We're definitely, our first game where we almost beat 2 Profane Possessions was largely because of Legion Conquistador. And if we manage to survive mulliganing to 5 here, it's going to be largely because of Legion Conquistador. Especially how he combos with Forerunner of the Legion. We've, gotten out if they play something really scary. Like Direfleet Neckbreaker. No, they've just got an Impale. So, they fired off 1 Impale at least. Okay, Moment of Craving's pretty good. I think we just play a Conquistador here, though. And we pump... What do we pump? Let's pump this Conquistador. Make him into an attacker. We're not going to use that ability because we already got them all. Attack for 3. Best they can do is trade, and obviously it's not a good trade. All right. Drop them to 10. We now have Moment of Craving to deal with one of these small guys in the future. If I drew a land there, I probably would have Moment of Cravinged Direfleet Captain and just attacked with everything, but I think playing the Conquistador is better. All right, well, there's their Moment of Craving. Being able to play the Conquistador and Moment of Craving would be great, is all. I still definitely block if he attacks with the Raptor. All right, so we have our 5th land now. We could play Trapjaw Tyrant. But I think instead, for now anyway, I'm going to play Legion Conquistador. We don't get to pump anything now, so actually I shouldn't have done that in my first main phase. But we're going to Moment of Craving Direfleet Daredevil and attack with everything. Might block the Glorifier and go to 8. Yeah. That looks like their plan. If we get him to use a trick, I'm okay with that. Since we still have a pretty good late game plan in our hand, if this early game, that's not that early, honestly, but if this earlier plan works out, then we don't need to worry about using them. But yeah, Skullduggery, brutal. That is brutal, but they go to 8 still. And we still have 3 Conquistadors in play who just laugh at Frenzied Raptor, so. They seem to be stuck on 4. We were for a long time, too. Yeah, we knew they had that guy. Firebrand on top of their library, so it's a 3/3 with Menace. Yeah, that does actually block our guys now. So do I play Pterodon and then Trapjaw Tyrant, or do I just walk the plank the Interloper and attack with everything? I think think walk the plank, the interloper, attack with everything seems good. And we can still play our 4th Conquistador next turn. So, yeah, this time they block and they're not going to have a trick. So they're going to go to 4. And then we play Conquistador. They did a lot of conquest. All right. See, it's also good to not have to show them we have these larger creatures because it may get them to side out. Like Impale is really clunky against what they saw in that game, right? So if they, don't want to be running it, maybe they take it out and these 3 cards will be way better in this game. I don't know. Yeah, we don't have much of a sideboard. I mean, we have some additional discard effects, but we already have 1 main board, so. Okay. It's not the fastest of hands, but I do think I keep it. Yeah. It's no longer like, man, you need to have a 2-drop or you're going to die in this format, so that's good. It's probably technically better to play a swamp there just because if I draw Walk the Plank, I could cast it on turn 2. Chances are I won't want to, but I could have. Wouldn't hate drawing a 2-drop here because I'm sure they're about to play one. Nope. But, yeah, so we play Conquistador, grab some stuff. Well, we're going to take 3 here. And go to 17. Okay. So we're only going to grab 1 here because we don't want to discard anything in our hand. We'll just grab 1 for now. And we'll end our turn. So yeah, I mean, I think I just blocked Direfleet Hoarder. Do I, though? Giving my opponent mana might not be the best plan. Yeah, let's just take 2 for now. If I didn't have to trade with it, I would be more interested in blocking it. But that's all I can, the best I can do is trade. So, do I play Glorifier next? There's Impale, which will be nice later. I could play Glorifier or another Conquistador. I think I play Glorifier. It gives me 2 3/3s, so. Yeah, I think we can just attack with this guy. Yeah, we'll get in for 3. I'm going to block with the Glorifier, and they can obviously use Hoarder plus Firebrand to kill our Glorifier. But I think I'm okay with that. Maybe they just have a kill spell. Contract killing or something. No. Well, probably going to have to impale that. Yeah, I think that's what I'll be doing. It's too big. Too big. I mean, I could just play my Suncrested Pterodon, I guess. It is bigger. Well, its toughness is anyway. Okay, we drew Forerunner of the Legion. Yeah, I think we just go Impale. Now we have Vampire Zeal, so we can actually avoid some scenarios here, but we're going to attack with both. So if they choose to double block one, which I don't think they will, I think the best thing to do is block one, block the other, and then sack the Firebrand to try to kill the other. But we can use Vampire Zeal to save the other one. Oh, really? Okay. It does give them more mana, and maybe in a color they really need. And we don't currently have more in the way of removal, so We do have a creature who can block a lot of creatures in this format, but maybe not one that costs that much mana. Please don't be a Tali. Okay, it's just an Orazka Raptor. We're cool. We're good. No problem. Yeah, we'll take that. And I think we attack with both and use Vampire Zeal to punch through this. There's a chance that they have... Skullduggery again, but we'll see. I think we still go for it. If a bunch of our creatures die, and not a bunch aren't going to, but we can flash in Bloodcrazed Paladin this turn too, which would not be bad. God, maybe playing Forerunner of the Legion first there would have been good, because Bloodcrazed Paladin would have basically been a combat trick, but then he would have also been quite small, so... I'm cool with no blocks. Yeah, okay. Sure. Sure. So, do we play Forerunner now? Or just the Pterodon? I think we just play the Pterodon. Ooh, they're going to steal our Impale. That's brutal. What do they use it on? Pterodon, probably, so they can attack me here. Yeah, that's gross. That's the first time either I or someone I've played has actually done something other than just play a 2-mana 2/1 first strike with Direfleet Daredevil. It definitely happens, though, obviously. Yeah, they still can't really attack. So, it's... Yeah. So I could play Forerunner. It doesn't seem worth it. I could also walk the plank. There's just so many options. Can't play Glorifier, but I think we attack. I mean, they're tapped out. I'm going to attack with both of these creatures. If they decide to just take it, we can kill them with Vampire Zeal, amusingly enough. So... Okay. I see what they're trying to do here. That's not so good for me. So they're going to do first strike damage. They're going to sacrifice this to do 1 and then do first strike damage to kill this. But it is going to result in a Bloodcrazed Paladin. So, yeah. Let's just use this. I'm sure they're going to do the Fanatical Firebrand thing here. But then we can play Bloodcrazed Paladin. Okay, opponent just scooped. Decided to just scoop. Works for me. All right, we won that one pretty handily, actually, despite mulliganing 5 in the first game. So we'll see if we can finish up 2-1 here. All right, final match. We're 1-1. We would like to play first. It's a weird hand. No white mana, no early creatures, but we do have Moment of Craving. I think we can probably do better on 6 in a scry, though, right? Ooh. Maybe not. Yeah, we're going to have to send this one back, too. Okay, well, Legion Conquistador's here. He's been a key to my victory. We're going to put this on the bottom for now. He does basically undo the fact that you mulligan if you can get him in your opening hand of 5 or whatever. So that's pretty nice. I mean, he doesn't quite undo it, but he goes a long way towards making up the ground you lose by mulliganing. All right, so we're going to play Conquistador first before we draw the other ones, and we're going to get all 4 of them this time. I'm actually going to get all 4 of them. There we go. Boom. Who mulliganed? I don't know. Don't think it was me. They do still have more cards in their hand than I do, though. But just barely. Yeah, that's pretty good. They're a defensive, control-y kind of deck. Both of these cards are indicative of that to me. So I think we just play a flyer here to try to put some pressure on them. I mean, obviously just going wide with Conquistadors puts pressure on them too, but not as quickly. We'd have to get like 2 more in play. So... Oh no, I do have one from Ixalan. There we go. Okay, I mean, I'm going to block with my Conquistador. I don't know if they're just trying to raid here, if they have a trick. My guess is they're just trying to raid, yeah. They're going to bounce something with yeah, Deadeye Rig Hauler. So, that's annoying in terms of us trying to put pressure on them, but the more creatures someone plays that trade with Legion Conquistador, the happier we are, you know, so... We're just going to replay the Sky Marcher and end our turn. But the bad news is they're probably moving towards playing something really scary. If they're this deck, it usually means you have some crazy bomb that you're splashing. So that is something we should be prepared for. Okay, ooh, that's pretty good. I wonder if I just play it, because it really puts pressure on our opponent. We'll attack with our Sky Marcher and see what happens. We drop them to 16, that's what happens. Yeah, I think we just play Glorifier here. Gives us another flying threat. We can play 2 Conquistadors next turn. Oh, they might have Hornswoggle. Good, they don't. That would have hurt. Could be lots of bounce in their hand, which is pretty bad with Glorifier, between it costing 5 and having to pay life to give it evasion. But let's just go for it. We are at 20 after all, and we'll attack with both of them. Both are flyers, that is. That's 6. Dropping them to 10. I wonder what they have that they're not casting with the hand with that many cards and that much mana. And then we're going to play Conquistador. We paid too much for the first one, but we are going to cast the second one, so we'll just keep that mana around. No, we don't need to. And then I'll play the other one. Another one, not the other one, since there's still 2 more in our hand. I know they have something. Yeah, Moment of Craving. Killing a Legion Conquistador with that doesn't feel very good, so they were probably holding on to that for a while, trying to decide what to do. But, yeah, Legion Conquistador undid our mulligan to 5 again. Man, this card's good. Especially when you have 5 of them. It just gets ridiculous. I used to think, I think in the old set, you probably didn't want to run more than 4, but this set's just so grindy comparatively that 5 Conquistadors is awesome. And our opponent's a grindy deck, so it's even better. I wish this had a cantrip on it. If it did, I would side it in right here. We know our opponent has a lot of removal, but it doesn't have a cantrip. Like, that's not even worth a card. What were they thinking? Yeah, I don't think we change much. We haven't gotten to play our Trapjaw Tyrant, which is sad, because he'll probably be on the thumbnail for this, since he's one of the few cards in this deck that I haven't played with before and already put on a thumbnail. So this is a keep, even though we already have 2 Conquistadors in our hand, because we have a 2-drop and we have removal. We just drew our Glorifier too, who definitely came up big in that last game. I guess maybe I haven't used Impale in a thumbnail. So that's kind of annoying. We know they have Moment of Craving, so we know they have at least 1 way to gain life, and they probably have more, even though if they were in black-white, we would be even more concerned, but I don't think I want to trade with it. Even with Martyr of Dusk, who gives me value when it dies. Okay, well, I think on the flip side, as the aggressor, I think attacking with it seems a little bit better, so I think I will attack. Okay, they trade. They might be able to get it back after the Moment of Craving my Legion Conquistador, but That's okay. I still get a vampire token. And I'm going to play Legion Conquistador. Search up. Maybe I haven't put him on a thumbnail. I think I have, though. I don't know. This is all very unimportant to those of you who are watching this and have already seen the thumbnail. Oh, we don't want that many. Just 2. I don't want to discard anything. And we'll end our turn. So we have Impale to deal with a big threat. Oh, they're mana screwed. We're getting paid back for, I guess, what happened to us earlier. So we will attack with both of these. Moment of Craving, yeah. Well, they had to use it at a time when they can't use it to get back their guy, so that part's nice. I think we go Legion Conquistador, and then we grab the last guy. Can't believe that. Our deck is, I mean, granted, our opponent's mana screwed here, but our deck has proven to be pretty strong. It did even in our first match when we went 0-2, but it's just frustrating because, you know, this definitely seems like it could have been a 3-0 deck, but, you know, things happen. Your opponents have 2 profane processions sometimes. What did my opponent just say to me? Amazing my luck. Happened to me earlier, my man. It is part of Magic. We're beneficiaries of it. I mean, you know, technically we should be beneficiaries of it and be affected by it just as frequently. You know, I'm sure that's true if you do big enough sample size. I think here we just play Glorifier again and it just puts so much more pressure on them than playing like Conquistador Dinosaur Hunter does. All right, well, 2-1 in the end. Deck was sweet. Legion Conquistador was definitely the all-star. I'll see you guys in the next draft, which will be the last Rivals of Ixalan draft for a little while we do some Masters 25 next week. Actually, the first Masters 25 draft should be up this weekend because it comes on Magic Online on Friday. I'm pretty excited to draft that set. It'll be a nice little break from this set, although I've really, really enjoyed Rivals of Ixalan. It's the best limited format in a while. For me, probably since our return to Innistrad, which is a pretty long time. Although, yeah, you know, that's a pretty long time. All right, see you guys in the next draft video.